Hi, this is the Yarn Closet in Mescal, Arizona. That is Southern Arizona. I am Laura. You can email me at theyarncloset@yahoo.com or PayPal me there if you want to support the podcast. Like and follow for updates. They have not been very good throughout this last year. But we are hoping, I am at least, and some of my long-term followers are hoping to get a little bit more consistent. Life's been tough. It's been tough for everybody. And now we're starting a new year. And so I got a new haircut. This is the shortest yet. And I just have this little bit and this little bit. And it's otherwise almost all kind of one length. You have to be of a certain age to understand that I feel like I've gotten a Dorothy Hamill. But it'll grow out and I think be just lovely in the way that I want. So let's do some shenanigans. Okay. We had baby pigs. We have this 550-pound breeding pig, and we had bought some of his piglets last year before we bought him. And we had a bunch of pigs that we slaughtered and stuff. Do you see that big white cat in the window? That's our new cat, Blue. He's made it. He's here. He's good. He's up to date, neutered, coming and going during the days, and it was quite a wonderful thing because my son had to put his cat of 11 years to sleep. A few weeks back, and so we have been enjoying that we have Mr. Blue back in our life. He is a white albino cat. With very light blue eyes. So he's got some bad vision like me because I think we both have ocular albinism. And, but he's just a love. I mean, he's just a love. He doesn't love Mitzi, the Morkie, but, you know, everybody else. And before we did bring him into the house, I also had to put Sadie to sleep, my retired guide dog. She was having sundowners and showing signs of dementia and had lost a lot of weight, and it was just absolutely time. And it's tough. And Chip will be the next one because he's the next oldest. Well, at least you think he will be. It's just tough when you get a whole bunch of animals all about the same age. Hi. He is a bit of a chatty man. Hi, Blue. See, chatty. He doesn't like Mitzi. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah, Mitzi, leave him alone. So it's been a bit of a difficult holiday season for us with all of that stuff going on, but also a good holiday season. We have 11 little baby piglets. One of them is sold already, and she's a good mama. We didn't lose any. I was able to help birth one. We helped birth, I think, 3 total. Her babies were really big, shockingly so. And you know, that's an interesting thing. I'm fixing a favored dog. Ooh, that didn't work. I'm fixing a favored dog toy, a little duck. And, you know, Mitzi likes to eat his nose off. Chip likes to have a happy ending with him. And it just is what it is. I hope everybody else had a good holiday, at least got through it. I found that this was not a particularly great mom holiday for me. I just was there and buying presents as too many people this year. It took a lot of the fun out of it for me. Connor, my son, will be 15 in a few weeks, and that'll be fun because at 15 and a half, he can get his permit for driving. So we're all looking forward to that. And I think it'll be a good thing because Grandpa Ed, Uber Ed, I can just see how his driving has changed. And my dad had stopped driving before he was 80. So, you know, and my dad is 12 years older than Ed. So, you know, we needed to like start planning for the future. My husband had a really rough patch right before the holidays. September and October were not good months for him, but he's feeling much better in a lot of ways now, and that is good. We've had snow, 2-3 inches one day. We woke up to flurries this morning. We had flurries yesterday. We're in the 20s in the overnight right now, 40s in the daytime, low 50s. So I think we'll have snow most mornings this week. That has to do with our elevation, because we are double the elevation of Tucson, about 1,000 feet higher than Grandma and Grandpa and the town that my daughter goes to school in, which is just a 10-15 minute drive away. So it's funny to have snow, drive her to school, and have no snow. I have a 28-year-old engaged son. I have a 14-year-old son who's on the spectrum and homeschools, and then I have a 7, almost 8-year-old daughter who's in 2nd grade. She goes to school in town. We have 3 dogs, 6 cats, and they're indoor-outdoor cats. We've got 13 pigs. That includes the parents. We've got 2 goats. We've got about 20 chickens and roosters. We've been having a bobcat problem. Oh, someone just said hello. So sadly, our numbers are down there. Yeah, the furry animals are fun. But it's not been fun to have the bobcat problem and the javelina problem and the coyote problem, where our numbers just keep dropping on those chickens. And that we're constantly repairing the chicken coop and the chicken run. But still, it's better than paying $5 to $10 a dozen in the store for my eggs. And they taste better. Yes, goats are so funny. So what I didn't know about goats until we actually had our own is that their fur looks different in the wintertime than the summertime. I knew they'd get a thicker winter coat. I didn't realize they'd have different patches of color that they don't have in the summertime. It's kind of crazy. And they are very friendly animals. So it definitely keeps us active, and I have had to, as we have taken in, so Blue, the albino cat, the white cat, goats are fun. Always have withers though. We have withers. That's boys that have been neutered because they don't stink. Our neighbors' goats got out, their boys got out, and they ended up peeing all over my friend's house. And she's like, it has taken months of bleach and all this stuff to clean it because they've got such insane hormonal odors. But Blue came from our cousin who had a really bad accident in August. And then he escaped from our house. He broke a window. So he's been wandering about in our 3 little family plots that we've got here. And we've been wondering what was going on. And then right after we put the other cat to sleep, he started showing up on a regular basis. So I trapped him. I took my yarn closet that was outside, moved a bunch of stuff inside, rearranged that room with an army cot set up like a couch and a TV. So he was there for a good solid 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks before we got him fixed and after. And now he's been in the house about a week. Just because when you take a 3-year-old cat and fix them, you've got to give them time for their hormones to readjust and lower before you introduce them to all the other ones. And I wanted to build up this, hey, you like being inside. It's warm, it's cozy, there's regular food, there's people, you like people. And it seems to have worked because he goes out in the morning and comes back, and it's great. But other than that, I am a knitter and a crocheter and a machine knitter, and so let's go to some progress I've had. Here is my big, chunky, I've always wanted to knit a chunky sweater, and I've never really knit a chunky sweater. So I started at the bottom, did a little bit of, I wish I'd done more, garter stitch, went up, bound off for the neck, then cast on for the neck, and kept going. And I did a lot more garter stitch on the back side. Tried it on, it fits just fine. This is actually the fit I wanted. And then, because I wasn't sure that it was actually gonna be as comfy, when I combined the underarms, I picked up stitches, did a bunch of garter again before I then bound off to the other side. So both sides have these garter stitch panels under the arm. And then I'm going to just do the sleeves. And I'm gonna do them at least bracelet, because that's where I like. I might leave the neck boat neck, I don't know. We'll see when we get there. But I'm really sad that I haven't been more motivated to get this done because our weather's been so cold. I could be wearing it every day. Instead, I'm wearing this, black sweatshirt. Which leads me to one of the other things that I felt really motivated about. Thank you. I like wine and red, and I like black, and I like denim colors. I have been downsizing over the last few months. Every few weeks, a box goes out, a box goes out. An end table we don't really need, a lamp we don't really need. And it just feels so, every time, I just feel lighter and lighter, and it feels so good. And I'm really trying hard to have a no purchase 2023. It's not so hard when you have kids because they still need a new size of this, a new size of that. So you're still buying stuff. So you have that itch scratched, I guess. But I'm not buying anything excess or extra or new or, unless it's a really solid need. And I haven't come across any of those. When you really stop and think about it, I haven't come across any of those. I would like to get this piece of, it's like a TV stand, but it's actually a holder for 2 litter boxes. You put your TV on it and they can come in and out. I would really like that. But I don't absolutely need it. I mean, I don't like the mess that they make of the litter boxes. She is barking. She's got a bark collar on. It makes noise, it vibrates, it does not shock. Because my worry was if it shocked, she'd pee. But she barks right through it. Drives me batty. The other 2 with the bark collars, I mean, it's pretty much taking care of them. I may eventually get her one that shocks. I don't know. If people are coming over, all I have to do is pick her up, and then she won't bark. Because if she's got the security of mom, then she's good. But it bums me that I wasn't more motivated in that sweater to get it done, but whatever. I've done a few other small things. I did finish 2 sets of socks over the holidays. Tried doing a couple of different strong heel and this heel and that heel and a turning heel, and I'm just not good at them. It just slows me down. So what I did was I did the ribbing and I did the sock tube, and yes, these are DK weight. decreased for the toe, and then I cut in and did afterthought heels. And that just gets them done so much faster for me. And I realized that I need more depth between the heel and the cuff, because I'm really trying not to washer machine and dry these too often, because I want them to last. And so as they stretch out a little bit, this helps. I'm also thinking that I'm going to do single socks and just not care about having 2 matching socks anymore. I'm just not gonna care. Because too often one will blow out and I'll fix and fix and fix before the second. Okay. Kill some coyotes. My husband's going hunting. I think he's actually bow hunting for deer, but whatever. And I've got some sock tubes that are kind of short. Like this one is short, but I put in an afterthought heel, and I'm just gonna knit however much I need to before I put in the toe. And there's a sock. And I'm just gonna do that with a bunch of my really short bits of sock tubes. And who cares if they don't match? I don't care. I don't go out enough that it matters. Does anybody anymore? I got to go have lunch with a friend that I don't think I've seen for 3 years. Thank you, COVID. And I'm really glad that COVID's not as bad this winter. And it seems like we're incorporating. I am shocked that, as far as we know, me and my family haven't gotten it. I've got a cousin that's had it twice. I've got an aunt that's had it twice. 2 aunts that have had it twice. You know, I'm just really blessed, and I think about that daily. I also wanted to figure out this short, you know, you've seen them everywhere. Sophie's little short thing. And I bought one pattern, but I didn't like it. After I got into it and looked at it, and it was like, it just seems far more complicated than it needs to be. So I just used up some of my leftover and did this. It's not the exact same shape. I'm kind of thinking the next time I do it, I'm gonna start with a long side, increase to get here, basically like take off my first little triangle that I knit here. Like if I took that off, it would be far more the similar shape of that thing that everybody's doing now, where they just have a cowl that they can actually tie instead of a cowl that gets too loose, and like a short scarf. So I think that's what I learned. And you want to know what else I did in this one? I started with a small needle size here to really feel the difference, because I've got a lot of DK and light worsted that I want to use up this year because I'm not shopping. And so I wanted to figure out the difference of the different needle sizes. So this is a 2.5. When I started in with the brown, I went up to a 3, all the way to this next one, and then that's 3.25. And then this last one was at a 4. And I really could see the difference of the density of the fabric that I created through all the different size needles. And because I did it at every time that I added in the brown, I don't think it's as noticeable in the overall pattern. They'd be like, oh, what's the deal there? And I might even, afterthought, cut this and bind off. And one thing I did is I did a I-cord bind off on this. I'd never done that before. It is a longer bind off, but I found it to be fun. And the way that I did it was the one where you don't have to constantly be going to one side or the other of the, like pushing the circular needle from one side to the other. You're just moving those couple of stitches. And that went pretty easily and fast for me, and I really liked it. and I like the edge that it gives. And it didn't end up being quite long enough, but it's long enough that I can tie it and fold it under and do it however. And it's fun little colors and it's warm. And obviously I need a little neck coverage now. I'm happy with the haircut. So yesterday I washed it and stuff, and it was a bit floofy. Today I don't know if it's my head, if it's my tilting, if it's my eyesight, but I always feel like this side is shorter than this side. And who knows, maybe it is. I definitely know that one side is thicker than the other side, and my part is not exactly central. Thank you. I like the color combo too. There is a little bit of browns in the green. You just don't see it that much, which is funny. Like, I thought the brown accents would bring out more of the brown bits, but it still works. I am also crocheting some baby blankets. So I have some different star patterns I like. And this one I am doing for my niece who's having a baby girl in the next week or two. I think she's gonna have it in the next week, but she's not due for a few more weeks. And then my other niece, I've been trying to crochet something, it's just not going fast enough. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing a really big panel. I have a 200 stitch flat knitting machine. So I'm thinking about doing a really big panel of knit and then crocheting around the edge so that it stays flat, because everybody knows a big stockinette panel is a big stockinette panel, it's just gonna roll up. So then I can just crochet around the edges, and that will be a decent baby blanket for her. And her baby is older, so she needs a bit bigger one. This one will be just like the newborn, and she's having a tiny one, like a 6-pounder. I don't know what that is. I had like 9-pounders. But it'll also work, you know, over a car seat or a stroller or whatever. It could be a fun little kid blanket. And I will say this, I have liked being inside a little bit more. Are you up to date with biology?
First missing one is turned in. Now I'm going through the other lessons. Only have like three more biology lesson reviews.
Go ahead and take some of that Dayquil, the red pills.
What?
If you're feeling congested, go ahead and take some of the Dayquil, the red pills. You'll feel better.
Okay.
Thank you for catching up in that, and please don't fall behind again.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
You're welcome. I love you, kiddo. That is my 6'2",
I think
14-year-old.
Also,
Uh-huh.
I checked, and I think I'm a little behind in English.
Then catch up. There should be no getting behind. Bummer. I don't know how that happens. Okay, well then keep up with it so it doesn't happen again. Love that kid. He's a noisy cat. Do you hear it? He's a noisy cat. The whole time he was out in his own room, he ate the dry cat food with abandon. He ate the wet cat food that I gave him once a day. Now with everybody else, it's like he'll eat some of the dry food throughout the day, because I have like a station, because I have so many animals, where we've got water and dry food all day long, and then I've got another water just for the cats up on a counter in the kitchen, and I do them wet food in the early morning. Because otherwise they want to go out too early in the morning, and with all of our dangerous animals, I don't want that. So it keeps them in a little bit longer. And he's just not been as good of an eater since coming in here with the rest of us. Are my cats around me? No, throughout the day they come and go, but you can meet Scotty. Scotty is our fox terrier. Hi, honey. Chihuahua mix. He's 8 years old. We were fostering him. He's got the cutest little curly tail. We were fostering him, but turns out that he really likes people and sleeps under the covers. So we ended up keeping him. We adopted. And it also turns out that he's deaf. So that's fun. So you have to go outside if he's not right by the door, and you have to get his physical attention. Chip was right in front of me with, and Chip is a toy poodle, a party poodle, a 2-color poodle, and he had his friend that I just fixed. So he's a little tired right now. Yeah. And Chip has got a bad, yes, hi, I love you, haircut because he got into the sticker bush. He followed a mouse into the sticker bush. Comes in and he looks like he's wearing mittens, and his whole head was just covered in stickers, and so I had to just really shave him down. And poor guy. Mitzi, where are you? Mitzi, Mitzi. Where's Mitzi? Where's Mitzi? Come here, Mitzi. Come here, Rocky. Mitzi. This is Mitzi the Morkie. Chip is 11 and a half. She is about 1 and a half. And she is very good friends with Rocky the cat. He's maybe 6 months old. Do you hear him? And then we also have Rocky's brother, Socks, who is very thin and long. These big, big eyes. And then Dusty, their sister, who's like half as long as they are, just tiny. And then the big white cat, who's actually about 14 pounds. He's bigger than even our small dogs. Thank you. They're fun. They're nice. I mean, so I am legally blind. I don't drive a car. I'm housebound. So I like all of the companionship throughout the day. And you know, it's something to do. I wish, for whatever reason, these last few years have been tough on me. I can't just sit down and knit or crochet for as long as I used to and stay focused. I have to find really good books on my library app to listen to keep me going. I am also 51, and so now I have my little treadmill right over here, and I try to do 5,000 steps a day on that. I pushed for 6. Lately, I've been making about 4, and then doing about 1,000 steps on my side to side. I have this thing called the Scoop, since I am old and I am a trip hazard mostly because of my eyesight. But this helps. See how you're not doing it like a bicycle, you're doing it side to side? It helps your fine muscles in your knees and your hips. There's also one that's a different name. That's like a stand-up version. I think I would really like that one even more, but it's pretty expensive. This one I was able to get on eBay for $100, which was great. And it's not, like, you don't have to do it where there's so much pressure that it hurts, but just a long enough time every day. I would really like my mother, who's almost fully blind, to start to do it, because she has tripped and fallen and broken far more things. I've never actually broken anything and had to have a cast on it. I've broken some things, some small bones, but yeah, so I do a little bit more of that, and we're just working into this new year, and we're hoping for a good spring. Trying to keep all of the world changes and things into perspective. Trying to remind each other that we love each other. I mean, Christmas this year was about all of the get-togethers more than the things, and the seeing of the people and the creating family. That was important for us this year. And, you know, the future will take care of itself. You need to be planning and be prepared, but the future will take care of itself. You don't have to be overly stressed or focused on it. And the past is gone. I mean, yesterday even. And we work really hard that it's okay to go to bed angry, but you can't wake up angry. So if you were mad at your sister yesterday, just let it go. Tomorrow's a new day. And that's our deal. And I think this has been a good half an hour. So now it's time for me to stick on a Mark Cameron book. I've listened to a few of his in the Arliss Cutter series. I do like a good mystery. So I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to get on my machine, and I'm going to do a little walking. And also then I will do a half an hour of Reiki while I'm walking too, hopefully. I really, really push for half an hour on the machine twice a day, but it doesn't always happen. And one lighthearted side note that's been fun is I've been listening to The Autistic Mystic on YouTube, and he's had some really good encouraging, at least for my sign, readings for 2023. And since they were good and positive, I'm listening to the monthly ones also, because they'll be good and positive, and that's an encouragement. I figure whatever it takes. Well, thank you. Have a lovely week, and remember to look with your heart, not your eyes.